Alright guys, so moving right along through What Would They Think, which is basically, like I said, a segment where two characters not so much fight, but what would they be like if they ever encountered one another. And this time around I'm going to be talking about what would happen if the Mad Titan Thanos ever encountered Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. So, this is how I probably see it happening. I could see Thanos hearing about this great, all-powerful tyrant that can wipe out beings with a single finger, with one finger. And I think Thanos would be very interested to at least encounter, at least meet this being firsthand. So I think, basically Thanos would go out and seek this all-powerful being and encounter Frieza. And I think he would be very impressed by it. I think he would be like, Thanos would be on his ship with his warriors and all of his, he'd be on his ship watching from afar of Frieza destroying a planet, and Thanos would be like, well, he's certainly interesting. I really want to meet this character. Thanos would be willing to be like, hey, if he kills me, I get to go be with my Lady Death, so win-win situation. So I think Thanos would approach Frieza and just be like, I think Thanos would say, oh, you're the great Frieza. I've heard, much about you. You destroyed the planet Vegeta, and you've destroyed countless of lives. And I think Frieza would know, if these two existed in the same universe, I'm pretty sure Frieza would have heard of Thanos. I think he would have heard whispers of the Mad Titan. So I think he would be like, oh, you're Thanos of Titan. I've heard nothing but stories about you. So I think Frieza would be very curious. Frieza would also be very interested in meeting this Mad Titan, this worshipper of death. I think he would be, if he ever did encounter Thanos, he wouldn't try. I don't think Frieza would want to kill him firsthand. I think he would think about killing him, but I think he would want to meet Thanos first. He would want, he would be very interested in learning more about him. So I could see it that Thanos and Frieza are having a conversation, and Thanos talking about how all he does is for his Lady Death. He talks about the power that the Lady Death has over him, and all that he has done in her name. While Frieza, on the other hand, Frieza would be more likely. He'd just be talking about He'd be talking about conquest and the thrill it is of killing. He'd be basically say like, death is my friend. I kill thousands of beings. I slaughter and kill when I wish. I know that was I just had to say it, sorry. But I think Thanos would be interested, I think Thanos would be a little disappointed that, Frieza is nothing more than a barbarian. He's not, he's just a conqueror. He's encountered multiple conquerors before in space, and he's killed a few of them. So I think Thanos would be a little let down that Frieza was just another, conqueror. He was just there for conquest, not so much, destroying things in the name of death. But I think he would try to look around as like, okay, I could see an alliance between us. I could see the two of us working together. Man, an alliance between Thanos and Frieza, that is scary. That is terrifying. That terrifies me, of Thanos allying himself with Frieza. And Frieza would be all for an alliance. I think he would be very excited to work with Thanos on the grounds of, hey, I can conquer and kill more people if I have this guy behind me, and maybe I could, maybe he can help me find the infinity, Frieza would definitely, if they exist in the same universe again, if they exist in the same universe, I think Frieza would have, wanted to know, especially he would want to talk to Thanos in depth about the Infinity Gauntlet and the Infinity Gems. I think Frieza, oh god, could you imagine Frieza with the Infinity Gauntlet? Yeah, that's something, that is not pretty. That's not a pretty thought. But like I said, I think Frieza would be very curious about the Infinity Gauntlet, and Thanos would tell him about all the power he wielded with it. And yeah. And now, getting on to them talking about everything that they've done, I think they would try to compare who's caused the most genocide. Like Frieza said, I wiped out all of the Saiyans, and while Thanos would be like, oh, you just wiped out a few races? Huh, that's funny. I've wiped out an entire universe before. So you got. So I think Thanos would be like, oh yeah, that's cool. Does it compare to a whole galaxy? Mm-mm. Oh boy. But obviously, if these two did make an alliance, obviously the Thanos and Frieza, their egos would kind of conflict with one another, and of course we all know what happens with conflicting egos. Let's not talk about who would win. I don't really want to do a whole Thanos would win, Frieza would win. This is just a hypothetical meeting of the two characters. This isn't supposed to be a fight video, so keep that in mind, guys. This is just them. If Thanos and Frieza ever met encountered one another, what would that said encounter be like? So that's kind of what I'm really getting at here. But no, like I said, Frieza and Thanos, they do have the same kind of goal as to kill and destroy. But however, Frieza just kind of wants to be a conqueror. Thanos, on the other hand, doesn't care much for conquest. He just cares about killing and satisfying his Lady Death. And yeah, if these two ever did form an alliance, it would be one hell of a short-lived alliance because those egos and get in the way, and eventually I think Thanos or Frieza or Thanos would just be like, you know what, I'm sick of you, bye. And a fight, for all we know, a fight would ensue between these two characters. So that would kind of be the big thing right there, is that these two would probably break out. It would probably have a huge fight break out between the two, and the whole galaxy would be several planets would be destroyed. Let's get that out of the way. I'm pretty sure a fight between Thanos and Frieza would blow up several planets. But I don't want to talk about go into logistics of who would win. Let's not talk about that again. It's it's basically who would win in this. Excuse me. It's not so much who would win in a fight, but more what would they think of one another. And like I said, there would definitely be short-lived alliance, and I think, again, they would definitely be interested. Thanos and Frieza would definitely be curious about meeting one another. Again, if they existed in the same universe, I'm pretty sure they would have heard stories of, like Frieza would have heard about the Mad Titan and his quest for, death, and Thanos would have heard about, this being called Frieza that blew up a planet with just his finger. These two would definitely try to seek each other out and try to form some form of a short-lived alliance for, trying to serve one another's separate goals. But yeah, that's pretty much how I think a meeting between... What would Thanos think of Frieza? You guys tell me, what do you think an encounter between Thanos and Frieza really be like? And yeah, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'm out.